Well, last night's effort to compromise on a tax cut bill and funding for education collapsed at the Capitol. The governor and the House Speaker announced the breakdown of talks last night. The governor saying he is not optimistic that there will be a tax cut bill passed this year to help more than 2 million Minnesotans possibly facing tax increases. The governor also saying he is not optimistic there will even be a budget bill this year, which includes funding for everything from the opioid crisis to elder abuse to school safety. In just minutes, we will hear from Speaker Kurt Daudt, but right now we are honored to have Governor Mark Dayton live in studio. Thank you so much, Governor Dayton, for coming in.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, you have called this the worst session you have ever seen, and you've seen a few rough ones. Why is that? And the Republicans say you're to blame. I'm guessing you disagree with that.
Well, big money's prevailed time after time. You know, the pharmaceutical industry is not going to have to pay a nickel to deal with the opioid crisis. It's going to come out of taxpayers' dollars, general fund. The nursing home chains are getting watered down version there. We're getting 400 calls a week still with people with problems with the nursing homes, their loved ones. The tax bill provides $200 million tax exempt to multinational corporations who are repatriating their foreign profits that even the Republican Congress voted to tax. So, I mean, it's just one time after another, the moneyed interests to take one over against the people of Minnesota. I haven't seen that happen to this extent in my 40 years.
At a news conference on Monday, again last night, you made it very clear you're not going to sign a tax cut bill unless you get $138 million of emergency funding to help 59 school districts that have deficits. It doesn't look like the Republicans are going to give you that. They say this is not a crisis. You disagree.
Well, they should talk to the school districts that are facing deficits and others that are on the brink. I mean, I just find it incredible that they can give $200 million of tax-exempt, tax-free money to multinationals for repatriating, but they can't come up with $138 million to help our schools avoid draconian cuts for teachers and curriculum starting next fall.
You know, I think a lot of people are probably watching us and thinking, my goodness, the legislature's been in session for 3 months. You're over there at the Capitol. And really, none of the big bills are going to get done, it looks like right now. You only have about 13 hours.
Well, I think they'll get them done. They're going to pass them their way, send them to me.
Are you going to sign them?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I said I'm not going to sign the tax bill because if there's not the education money part of it, and furthermore, it's a bad bill because of this giveaway to multinational corporations, and even the individual tax cuts go much higher for the upper income than for lower income. And, you know, so it's a bad bill in its own right, but I've said I'm not going to. And they, you know, they won't negotiate. They're saying we're just going to, you know, go back, get our bill, and send it the way we want it.
Right, but the supplemental budget bill, this budget bill, you might sign it.
If they strip out the remaining 60 policy measures that have no business being in that bill, it's supposed to be a budget bill. It's not about loading it up with all this policy. And again, putting things like I've implored them not to put the school safety money in there. It's too important to be used as a political manipulation. It should be standalone. Come to me so I can sign it, and we can give these schools more money for safety.
And there's still time for that, you think?
Well, they could do that if they want to, but they're indicating they won't.
Okay, last night you vetoed a $9 million for MNLARS to help these deputy registrars who really have been burdened financially in terms of the workload that they've had to do because of the MNLARS disaster. Why did you veto that? I've
said it in my veto letter, and I've said before, I support the money for the deputy registrars, but that's just one piece of the MNLARS equation, and they refuse to put in money that's going to help us correct MNLARS. I really believe there's some legislators who want MNLARS to remain as bad as possible through the election to make you know, me and Democrats look bad. It's just, you know, and that's what's going on in this session that's so disheartening, is that, you know, it's once again, it's about re-election politics rather than what's best for Minnesota. So yeah, I want to help the deputy registers. I also want to help the hundreds of thousands of Minnesotans who are going to have to deal with MNLARS over the next years to get that thing straightened out. You also vetoed a bill which would have made much tougher penalties for those protesting and blocking highways and interstates. A few years ago, there was a very violent protest on Interstate 94 right by the Capitol. I believe more than 20 St. Paul officers were actually injured. Why the veto there? Well, I said all along, for 2 years I've said that I support tougher penalties for people who block freeways, interstate highways, or access to airports. But they've included transit, and the language is such that if it's something tends to cause something to happen, well, if you're going to put a gross misdemeanor charge on someone, it's got to go more than tends to. It's got to be explicit, and it's got to be explicit what it is. If someone assaults a police officer in the midst of a protest, that's a gross misdemeanor, as it should be. So any act that's committed in the course of a protest that has its own illegal action is going to be treated differently, and should be.
Any chance of a special session to fix this? No, not at all. That's completely.
Well, I've only said not unless there's snow in Minnesota in July, although I remember that I've been up on the Iron Range on the 3rd of July in the evening and seen snowflakes. So I'm going to stay out in southern Minnesota in July, so that's not possible. Okay. No is the answer.
And let me ask you just finally, once again, you really seem to be going to the mat here over education. It's something that you've done before, really stressing this. Ultimately, you were the person who pushed for all-day kindergarten, which passed in 2014, started in 2014. Is this your legacy, do you think? Is that why you're fighting so hard for this? No,
it's because these schools desperately need it. I mean, I had one third grade teacher from Winona tell me that he has a class of 17 this year. If the school board has to make the cuts they're looking at, he'll have a class of 29 next year. It's about the kids. It's about what we owe them to give them the best chance in the future in their lives. It's about having the money available if they just close the tax loophole for multinational corporations. It's about the priorities. Is the priorities the kids of Minnesota, or is it multinationals?
Okay. Well, Governor Mark Dayton, thank you so much. I know obviously this is a very busy time. We certainly appreciate your coming in this morning.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Esme.